We're diving into a letter today, a letter from a military leader named Moroni.
Moroni was writing to Pahoran, who was the governor.
This letter is part of the Book of Mormon.
It's in Alma chapter 60.
So Moroni and his armies are in the middle of a war.
A really tough war.
Against the Lamanites.
And they need help.
They need supplies and reinforcements from the government.
But they aren't getting what they need.
Moroni's pretty frustrated.
Oh, yeah, you can hear it in his words.
Like in verse 5.
He's writing to Pahoran.
Behold, I direct mine epistle to Pahoran in the city of Zarahemla, who is the chief judge and the governor over the land, and also to all those who have been chosen by this people to govern and manage the affairs of this war.
He's not messing around.
Not at all. He's laying it all out.
He's saying, look, people are dying.
It's serious.
In verse 9, he says, And now in your epistle you have censured me, but it mattereth not. I am not angry, but do rejoice in the greatness of your heart. I, Moroni, do not joy in your great afflictions. Yea, it grieves my soul. But behold, there are those who do joy in your afflictions, yea, insomuch that they have risen up in rebellion against you, and also those who have been sent to meet them.
Wow, yeah, he's calling them out.
And he connects this to something deeper.
Like what?
Like a spiritual and social decay. It's not just a military problem.
You're saying it's a problem of their values.
Exactly, their commitment to God.
In verse 23, Moroni says, And now I would that ye should remember that God has said that the inward vessel shall be cleansed first, and then shall the outer vessel be cleansed also.
That's powerful.
It really is. He's talking about inner cleansing.
That's a huge theme in the Book of Mormon.
It makes you think.
About our own lives.
What are our values?
Are we living up to them?
Moroni's saying true strength comes from God.
Aligning yourself with his principles.
And when we stray from that,
we become vulnerable.
Like in verses 32-33, where Moroni says, Behold, I am Moroni, your chief captain. I seek not for power, but to pull it down. I seek not for honor of the world, but for the glory of my God, and the freedom and welfare of my country. And thus I write unto my brethren, reminding them of the greatness of the cause which we are contending for, that we may not shrink up, but that we may be faithful unto God.
He's not about personal ambition.
It's about serving something bigger than yourself.
The greater good.
He even gives them an ultimatum.
What does he say?
He says, if you don't help,
then what?
he'll have to take matters into his own hands.
He's serious.
Absolutely. This is about survival.
And freedom.
He's pleading with them to wake up.
Before it's too late.
To fulfill their responsibilities.
And then he reminds Pahoran in verses 36-37, And I know that God will support us, yea, and keep us from falling by the sword, yea, and deliver us out of the hands of our enemies if we do but follow him. Behold, I do not this to boast, for I am only in the hands of God.
He's putting his trust in God.
Even in this crazy situation.
It's amazing.
He's not giving up hope.
And he's still respectful.
Even though he's frustrated.
He's appealing to Pahoran's sense of duty.
He's not attacking him personally.
He's using logic and reason.
Trying to persuade him.
It's a powerful example of leadership.
Especially in a crisis.
Moroni's not complaining.
He's offering solution.
And calling for action.
He's leading with courage and conviction.
And faith.
His message is still relevant today.
It makes you think about what makes a good leader.
And how to face adversity.
Moroni's letter is a timeless reminder of the power of faith and the importance of righteous leadership.
And we'll continue to explore these themes as we delve deeper into his words. But this isn't just a story from the past.
It's about leadership.
In any situation.
Exactly. Think about your own challenges.
At work.
With your family.
Just everyday life.
Moroni can teach us something.
About courage.
And conviction.
About taking responsibility.
He says it starts from within.
Cleansing the inward vessel.
Like he says in verse 24.
He talks about repenting.
And now, except you do repent of that which ye have done, and begin to be up and doing, and send forth powerful armies against the Lamanites, and contend with them, until ye have driven them out of all the lands of your possession, which is the land of our inheritance. Behold, it will be expedient that we contend no more with the Lamanites, until we have first cleansed our inward vessel, yea, even the great head of our government.
Look at our motivations.
Are we living right?
Our actions reflect who we are inside.
If we want to change the world,
we got to start with ourselves.
Moroni also talks about unity.
Being part of something bigger.
Fighting for the same cause.
Freedom.
Well-being of everyone.
He reminds them.
Back in verse 26.
Yeah, what does he say?
Yeah, and I would that ye should remember that whosoever shall go to war against their enemies with their swords girded about them, and having faith in the God of Israel, that they shall prevail against their enemies.
That's powerful.
If we're divided, we'll fail.
And you see this today.
All the division,
People fighting,
no common purpose.
Moroni saying,
We're stronger together
we have to work together.
to overcome challenges
It's so easy to get caught up,
in our own stuff.
our own little world,
But Moroni's calling us higher,
to serve,
to
to
sacrifice.
commit to something bigger,
His letter's a wake-up call,
to be better
to lead with righteousness.
in everything we do.
Moroni shows us what it means to be a leader.
It's not about power,
It's about serving others,
doing what's right.
never giving up on your faith.
Even when things are tough,
It gives us hope.
even in the darkest times,
We can find strength,
if we follow the right path
the path of faith.
and righteousness,
And Moroni is right there with them.
leading by example.
He's not just telling people what to do.
He's doing it himself
He's willing to risk everything
for what he believes in,
for his people.
for his faith.
That's true courage.
It's inspiring
It makes you want to be better,
to stand up for what's right,
even when it's hard.
even when you're scared,
Moroni reminds us that we all have a responsibility
to make the world a better place,
to fight for justice.
to live with integrity.
It starts with ourselves.
But it doesn't end there.
We have to be willing to speak out,
To challenge those in power,
to work for change.
and to never give up hope
Moroni's letter is a powerful message.
for our time,
It's a call to action,
to live with faith,
to lead with courage.
and to never stop fighting for what's right.
Thanks for joining us
We hope you learned something today
about leadership,
about faith.
about the power of one person to make a difference.
If you enjoyed this discussion,
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast
we'll have more conversations like this
about the Book of Mormon.
and other inspiring topics.
Until next time.
May you find strength and peace.